All right, what's up guys? Chris at F22. We're here at NAB 2016. I'm here with Mark from Atomos headquarters, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the new Shogun Flame. So we have one right here. And you want to just kind of briefly tell me what we have going on here, what kind of updates there are with, compared to the older version, the older model, and let us know what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, we're pretty excited to be here at NAB. It's been a lot of buzz at the booth, and especially around the new features on the Flame. So the big buzz of recent has been HDR, and what we've actually introduced into this model of the Shogun is far more ability to see more of what the camera is seeing. And that's always been tough because monitors that are generally 8-bit and restricted to Rec. 709 don't really have the ability to see a lot of what the camera's seeing. So this can help you in several ways, and I'll show you how that works right now. So what we have here is the Red Epic, and the Red Epic is actually outputting red log film at the moment. So I'm going to go in here where I can manipulate the actual parameters of the monitor. And at the moment we're viewing the native source, which is the log that's actually coming out of the camera. Now this is actually, it doesn't really matter which camera, as long as the camera can output log, then it's capable of HDR. And I'll show you how that works. So at the moment, if I were to view this image, and I'm just going to get a waveform up here so you can see what's happening. So I've got a Luma Parade here, and I'm just going to go back here. If I were to view this particular image in normal Rec. 709, I could apply a log to Rec. 709 LUT, and that would look something like this. Now, generally speaking, using 3D LUTs, they're amazing for most of the time. A lot of the time, because they are restricted to Rec. 709, you lose a lot of detail. The detail is there in your waveform, however, your screen doesn't have the ability to resolve it, so you can't really see what's going on. So what I'll do is I'll switch to Atom HDR mode. I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm going to bring it back to standard dynamic range. Now this is pretty much what we were just looking at before. It's like log to Rec. 709, standard dynamic range. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide my finger up once on this slider from standard dynamic range, and I've just pushed it up one notch, and now I'm at standard dynamic range plus one extra stop of dynamic range, or we're at 400% of SDR. Sorry, that was 2 stops that we just went up there. Now if I keep going, you can see this line is actually moving up, and what we're doing is we are resolving more of what the sensor is actually seeing. If I were here back at standard dynamic range, you may make a decision to actually stop the camera down so you can actually see what's going on. Unfortunately, if you do that, that's kind of a slightly destructive way of doing things. Although you may not clip on the baseline, you don't have the room on the baseline to be able to push the waveform out both ways for a potential HDR output in the future. At the moment, I mean, for an SDR output, it might be absolutely fine. And you don't need to use this feature for every scenario. But if you do, in fact, want to have your media and your waveform safe for future HDR outputs, then you need to be very mindful about how you're exposing your shot. This is really a tool to help you expose your shot and sort of future-proof yourself for potential HDR output.
Right, and none of it's destructive. It still records.
No, you're still recording just a log. And as I said, this is really a great tool for making sure you expose your shots properly.
Very cool. Awesome.
That's right. And again, you can go through, we've got loads of different camera profiles in here. You've got red, you've got PQ, in and out, which I'll talk about in a moment. We've got all the Sony profiles, Canon profiles, Panasonic, ARRI, JVC. So we're dealing with all of the major camera manufacturers here. We're taking all of their log profiles and their gamuts as well, and we're able to represent what that looks like on the actual screen.
All right, can you tell me a little bit more about the hardware? I know this has an upgraded battery situation, so you want to kind of tell me about that?
Sure. So in terms of the hardware, a few key things here. At the moment, we now have a 1500 nit panel as opposed to the 400 nit panel on the original Shogun. This is huge for shooting outdoors. I mean, it works so well that you really don't need a hood in most scenarios. We've done some tests just recently and a few shoots back home, and we were shooting with harsh sunlight directly on the screen, no hood required.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that really makes a difference,
That's
especially
a great,
if you're on a
gimbal. Yep.
Especially if you're on a gimbal. And a lot of the gimbal users that we've shown this, and a few guys that we've used to test it, they're loving it. So the
Cool.
other thing is that it's a 10-bit panel, which is great. Much more processing power that we have there. Also, we have a much more rugged sort of casing for this particular model. We did listen to to our customers who were complaining that the previous model, the quality was not quite there. We've listened and we've actually improved that massively. We've got now these rubber bumpers that really help, just in case you drop
Yeah.
it. It's absorbing a lot more of that impact.
We're actually recording on one right now,
Yeah.
and the build quality on it is so much better. It feels just more rugged, more durable, and I really feel like it's a big upgrade from the previous version.
Yeah.
So that's really, really awesome.
The other thing too is that we now have continuous power back. So we've got 2 slots at the back for your Sony NPF batteries, and we can hot swap those, so we don't have to lose power. The other thing included in this, we've got a really nice sun hood that comes with the kit. We've got a D-tap to barrel coiled cable that comes with it if you're using an Anton Bauer or a V-mount battery. Loads of accessories, all come in the kit in a hard case. So everything's included. No, you don't have to go and buy the extras, except for the media. You need to go buy it.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate it. I think
No worries,
that answers all my questions.
All
So
right.
thank you, and thank you guys.